April 30th, 1945. When he first spoke of Dmitri, Reznov told tales of a hero. Someone we should all aspire to be like. At times, I have seen him show mercy, but at others act with complete brutality. I do not understand him. Perhaps heroes need not question their actions.
Steel yourselves, men, for the final push.
Hello and welcome everyone, this is Cavalier Astoria, and today we're playing the last mission in Call of Duty World at War, Downfall.
Our land, our people, our...
Now if you notice, that little monologue at the beginning is the slight moral choice that you have throughout the game. On Vendetta, if you provide covering fire to the Russian soldiers, you will gain a point to the good, and if you don't help them, you'll get a point to the bad. If you then, in Their Land, Their Blood, if you execute the wounded soldiers, you get 1 to the bad, and if you leave them be, 1 to the good. And lastly, at Eviction, at the start of the subway tunnels, you have the choice of either burning alive German soldiers or granting them a swift death. If you give them a swift death, you get a point to the good, and if you burn them with Molotovs, you get a point to the bad. And depending on one of your outcomes, well, depending on your choices, you'll get one of 3 outcomes that Chernov thinks about you that's written in his journal. If you show mercy whenever possible and you help your soldiers out and you get good points, Chernov will speak highly of you. If you do bad choices, then Chernov will kind of be a bit more disappointed. Oh, God. And lastly, if you do a mixture of the two, you get what I got, which is the more, I guess, confused one, where he's just kind of like doesn't understand your actions, which I really like. It's a little like detail that helps give Chernov a bit more character because of him like actually commenting and even outright questioning some of your choices. But either way, this is the Reichstag, the German Parliament building. And, oh God. Oh God, this is not gonna go well. Yeah. So, let's actually go this way. Around. But yeah, this is the Parliament building for the Germans. This is where the German Parliament met and would become one of the last stands that the German army would end up making in Berlin. It's on this day that Mr. Mustache Man would end his life. And I hope that doesn't kill me. Fuck! I need to lock in. And at this point, the German army was basically collapsing at this point. Also, a little cool detail, if you look directly up, that's actually the final section of the game. You can actually see up into the final section of the game. You actually exit through there, and the final cutscene is somewhere over there. It's a cool little detail that I don't think a lot of people would notice. I mean, I didn't notice that on my first playthrough. Alright, now I'm not gonna take chances with the grenades anymore. And I'm gonna try to lock in and get through this entire area. God. let's just move this way. God, Dimitri, run! I was trying to get into that little alcove. Okay. Alright, this time I'm gonna go left. Let's move this way. And of course, Dimitri's getting shot and he immediately just stops. Think positively. I want to end this game on a good note. And not have really stupid gameplay mechanics that result in your character getting killed because, you know, getting shot. And your character just immediately stops and goes, "Oh, I've been shot. Let's just, like, walk saunterly into cover." Like there, like it. I was running up to do a knife on that guy because I didn't really need to waste bullets. But the problem is, though, he ended up hitting me, and basically my character Dimitri just decided to just stop. I'm actually gonna swap out the SVT-40. It's mostly down to personal preference. In this game in particular, I actually don't like the SVT-40. I think it's mostly down to the sound. Like, I'm not a big fan of the sound, and also, like, I always feel like it's severely underpowered. Like, it feels weaker than the M1 Grand, which it really shouldn't be. Well, either way, the good old STG-44 will carry us to victory. Yeah, so one thing I want to talk about is presentation. This is something that old Call of Duty games were really good at early on, but that they have gradually lost. It's just presentation. This is a really interesting arena to fight in. And this game earns it. Because it basically, because of all the missions before it, it set the tone. So now when you go on this assault, it gives you a really cool level to fight through. Dimitri, run. It gives you a really cool level to fight through, which I really enjoy. And here you get some set pieces, such as this guy, who ends up stomping a German. And over here, we got another guy who ends up beating a German. And then you got in here, where they end up gunning down some German soldiers. And then we got quite possibly my favorite section coming up. By the way, if you are a collector, there's a death card usually like right here. I actually played this mission just before this attempt, but the recording died halfway through. Which is slightly annoying because I managed to get up to the roof without dying. Problem is though, like, the recording is dead, so. Oh well. Oh, back here. Where's the sniper rifle? Huh, where is it? Huh, there's an anti-material rifle around here that I want to grab. Oh, no, it's over here. The good old anti-material rifle. And this is quite possibly one of my favorite arenas. Because again, set pieces. You got guys attempting to bring that down. This symbol of oppression. And they're attempting to break it down with Panzerschrecks. And it's such a cool little thing when it happens. And what's even cooler, and I just discovered this on the previous playthrough that I just mentioned, I'm gonna show you what you can do. And there's a good chance that, like, if you're a veteran of Call of Duty World at War, you know already, but I think it's like a cool little thing that I just didn't know until this mission, until I was playing it earlier today. And let's continue to move up. But yeah, fighting through what is effectively a parliament setting. Actually, no, not effectively. It is a parliament setting. It's such an interesting arena that, like, doesn't really happen. But such a great arena. Alright, let's get that guy. Let's grab that guy. And eventually we'll be allowed downstairs. Once we take care of a few more guys. Oh, more ammo over here. Let's grab this guy. I'm gonna try to shoot a leg off now. Still can't dismember legs. Is there another flamethrower? There is another flamethrower. I got you, comrades. Where is this guy? Took off that guy's arm. Where is that flamethrower guy? Because he's somewhere over there. Anyway, we got more Germans on the balcony ahead. Up, now we're allowed onto the floor. Alright, Reznov crashes through. There's a flamethrower over there. Hello, Nazis. I would like to talk to you guys about tax reform. And this is something I didn't know about because I completely missed Reznov's dialogue. But you can bring that down. I did not know that, actually, for a long time. Because, again, I never really paid attention to Reznov's dialogue in here, but man, like, that's such a cool little detail that you could blast that down. But yeah, again, this is such a great arena, but again, this is presentation. Like, Call of Duty, old Call of Duty just knew how to present a scenario to you.
Get those doors open. Get them open now.
And of course, this is where Hitler made all of his famous speeches to the Reichstag. And over here, we got a bunch of Germans desperately trying to keep themselves alive. Reznov, get in there. I mean, I would help, but I'm, as a player character, I cannot help.
Go, everyone, through the doors.
And now we got the final arena, which, as I pointed out before, you can actually see from the bottom. Ooh, actually, no, we got one more section. Okay, let's get down. Throw that grenade. His head. Let's move up. Let's get that guy. Ooh. So this is Otto von Bismarck, the first Chancellor of Germany. And honestly, probably the best. This guy pretty much single-handedly formed Germany. An excellent statesman and pragmatic diplomat. Even if you disagree with his policies like I do, I disagree with him politically. He was just a fantastic statesman. Like, you have to give him credit. And here is the final section. This section is kind of insane. Because you're getting panzer strikes fired at you. And you got a machine gunner over here. Who has pretty good coverage of the entire area. Try to pop him. Oh, I got him. I think there's a panzer strike up there. Okay, that guy's down. Now, if you notice, a lot of these, a lot of Germans here are wounded because you could tell they have bandages wrapped around like their arms and their heads. Yep, as part of Endsieg, the final the final struggle for Germany, Endsieg, it was literally everyone's fighting. Unless, of course, you're a woman. In which case, you know, stay at home. They weren't even allowed in factories. It was all just men. So, boys, old men, wounded, the sick, everyone was pushed into combat. Like this guy. And, yeah, this was a part of Germany, the good old Nazi party being insane, because they basically figure that if the German people fought if they fought hard enough, they could eventually turn the tide. Which at this point it was absolutely it was a lost proposition. Like, realistically, the war was over for Germany about mid-1944 with Operation Bagration and Operation Overlord. Oh, shit. Fuck. I had nowhere to go. I should not have moved up. And yeah, I got pulled all the way back here. Yep. So, I was doing really well that round. Let's grab the MG. Try to get Panzer Shark guy. There. Get that guy. Move back. Get in the fight. Well, let's move up. But yeah, this was the final struggle of Germany. And it costed a lot of lives completely unnecessary. And not just that, it just further ruined the German economy. Alright, let's move up. Dmitri again refused to run. Thanks, buddy. I'm going to try to move up. Probably now. Someone's eventually going to spawn, because there's a spawn point, like, right there. Or not. Don't trust grenades. Yeah, there's the spawn point for Germans. Wow, thanks, man. You're already dead. Can you imagine if, like, that killed me? Up. Let's get down. Now, a fun fact about the STG-44 is that its predecessor, the is it MP42, I believe, actually saw limited service. It was dropped into a pocket of Germans who were surrounded on the Eastern Front in order to kind of like test them out. So they dropped the prototypes in, and they actually performed really well. It was actually like the first deployment of not STGs necessarily, because they weren't STG-44s yet, but of a predecessor to them, which is a always something that's kind of like interesting. The fact that the German army could have had these guns in 42 if they actually, you know, bothered putting the research and development time into it. Although, admittedly, they would not have been able to build as many as they would need to actually, you know, make a meaningful difference. They still would have lost World War II, is what I'm saying. Like, that's my problem with the most alternate history scenarios. With, like, the Germans winning World War II. Like, no. Like, it takes a very specific set of things going right for the Germans for them to actually win World War II. And it's not something like alternate history hub's whole shtick, where it's the that recent one that they did about how if the British pieced out after Dunkirk, then the Germans would have won. Like, that's ridiculous. That would not have happened. Carry the flag! No! The last German! And Reznov treats him like the last German is to be treated. And Dmitri is being unreasonably heroic here. So obviously, this is based off of a real event of the famous photo of the Soviet soldier raising the flag over the Reichstag. Fun fact, that's actually Ukrainian. It's not Russian at all. It's a Ukrainian. But with that,
As long as you live, the heart of this army can never be broken.
oh, Reznov, you're gonna be so disappointed in Black Ops 1.
As heroes, we will return to Russia's embrace.
Then Black Ops 1 happened.
General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have
But
surrendered
yeah,
to the United Nations.
with that,
The victory won in the West must now be won in the
of course, we got the nukes. But that's it. That was the last mission of Call of Duty World at War. This is quite possibly one of my favorite games of all time. I don't think there's any mission I would actually describe as being bad. Yeah, sure, there's a couple, like, I wouldn't even consider any weak ones.
We are gathered here, representatives.
But yeah, I think through and through, this is like a solid 9 out of 10 game that everyone should play. And I would make an argument that this paired with Modern Warfare 2 is the peak of Call of Duty. That was the height of Call of Duty as a whole. from a campaign perspective. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about multiplayer whatsoever. But I think campaign-wise, this one plus Modern Warfare 2 they're the peak. I know the Black Ops series are really good, but I don't think there's a whole lot of other games that meet it. And yeah, that's all true. In fact, the 60 million they mentioned at the start, that's actually the conservative number. I've even seen 80 million killed. Or I guess, actually no, it's not the conservative. The total number is 50 to 70 million killed if you don't count the genocide such as the Holocaust. So 60 million is about in the middle. But either way, let's talk about these missions. So, like I said, I don't think there's any weak missions in this entire game. So I'm actually going to describe this as my favorite missions in order. My first one is Black Cats. I unironically love Black Cats. It's so good. It's so good. It's such a great mission. And it's a turret section, but it makes that turret section actually fun, unlike so many other turret sections that fail. But yeah, this is on top. I'd probably go with Eviction as my second favorite. Followed by probably Downfall as third. Heart of the Reich is fourth. Then probably... honestly, probably Hard Landing is probably my fifth favorite. But yeah. Now, out of all these, the weakest one I think is probably Semper Fi. Which, if you're going to have a weak mission, have it be your first mission. Because once Semper Fi goes through, it just gets better and better. Better. Even better. Even better. Great. Great. Well, actually, that one I consider good. Great. Fantastic. 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 And lastly, fantastic. And of course, you got zombies. This is the start of zombies. And this is fantastic. All these are amazing. With that, thank you for joining me. And if you liked the video, I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed. And have a wonderful day. And I would like to thank everyone for sticking around and going through this entire series with me. It's been a blast replaying through Call of Duty World at War. But yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.